What's up, everybody? It's Sid and Millie. We're back with another episode.
Yes.
Today. So what are we talking about, Millie?
Well, today is OVO Friday. OVO Friday, as I'm calling it. Drake has released new music. The GOAT, he's back. He's dropped 3 albums on our head tops. Like, everyone was only expecting Iceman. We only really got the hype for Iceman, and then Drake turns around and just surprises everybody.
In goated fashion.
Yeah, in true GOAT fashion, and just blesses the world with new music. So you dropped 3 separate albums, and yeah, we're just gonna be chatting about them a little bit. We've already started listening to Iceman. Still got to get into Maid of Honor and Habibi, but for now, we're just gonna chat about some of the songs we've listened to, some of our overview so far, and yeah, just our excitement and hype to listen to all of these albums throughout the day.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, facts. We will be listening throughout the day.
Definitely. It'll take us a little while.
Yeah. Well, because what have you been your kind of top takeaways?
Well, first, I think the biggest thing to acknowledge is the future presence on Drake's album. I think it's pretty crazy. Obviously, we know about the beef and all that nonsense that happened with the little man. And now I feel like having Future on the album really speaks volumes to the progression of Drake and Future.
Yeah.
And we know that they make bangers together. We know they've made so many fire songs in the past. So to have them teaming up again is just unbelievable. It's fantastic to see. The music industry needed that, wanted that. We know that there's no need for beef, that, you know, a lot of talented individuals can just get together and make great music. And I love to see that Drake and Future are doing that once again. So that's kind of like my first like big takeaway was that, you know, Future is on the album, which is
really amazing.
Huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. So love to see that. Of course, Drake brought 21 Savage back. Of course, naturally, they've had a great, you know, friendship throughout this entire situation that's gone on.
Yep, and he was featured on 21 Savage's album as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so a lot of good coming out of that, and yeah, so now we're just really excited to like get into the album and kind of just chat about it. So first, my early thoughts. I'm about halfway through Iceman right now. I mean, I love the vibe. I love the music. I feel like Drake has once again like elevated his perspective on music, on the industry as a whole, and it kind of seems like, you know, more so side-eyeing the people around him and kind of in a solitary mindset right now. And I think that so far on Iceman, like he's really talking about and addressing kind of like the industry as a whole.
Okay.
And I love the vibe. I love it so far.
That's really awesome.
It's been sick that, you know, I think it just shows like his range as well. Once again, like there's just a mixture of so many good sounds, different voices, like different like singing, like he's brought really everything back to it in this album. And yeah, it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
So early on, I feel like the ones I've starred so far, like on my Apple Music, I love like Make 'Em Pay. Just again, kind of just reiterating what I was saying about having like Future back and doing the yeah, and then the song with 21 Savage is the Bees on the Table. I just listened to that one for the first time. Again, really, really solid. I think that 21 and Drake always are phenomenal when they collab together. The songs just have such a like an easy like flow with them, and yeah, the beats just never disappoint. But yeah, I think like some of the hype and like the build up I want to talk about as well is because we saw some scenes around Toronto. So what did you think of like the CN Tower?
Oh yeah, Drake like icing out the whole CN Tower. That's so sick. Definitely sick. Like big star power.
Yeah,
sure.
Definitely.
So that was really cool to see. Obviously, like a little bit of a nod to his last album as well.
Yeah.
CN Tower.
Yeah, so of course.
That was pretty cool that he brought that back into it with like the 100%. Ice, so.
Yeah, just like an icon in the city for sure. And I feel like definitely even on Twitter today, like when you're scrolling, like it is a complete complete change. That's why I'm saying it's OVO Friday, because
Yeah.
everything online is OVO related right now. It's the song, people capturing lyrics, people catching the little sneak disses. You know, there was a diss at DJ Khaled, diss at, you know, some other people. And yeah, we'd love to see we love to see that, because I feel like, yeah, a lot of people were quiet during like that beef period. No one wanted to, you know, stand up and acknowledge how like preposterous the allegations that were being spread on the airwaves were about Drake. You know, there wasn't really anybody backing up like himself. It was really just him. We know that J. Cole obviously popped out of the beef immediately to avoid any of the discomfort. And so Drake was really left on an island by himself and had most of the other industry rappers that are like big names teamed up against him.
Right.
And so to go from a period like that, and now it seems, like I said, like it seems like Drake is reflecting on this album, reflecting the time period that he just went through. And I think, yeah, it just he's got this more enlightened perspective on these other people in the industry. It feels like now a lot of people have shown their true colors, and yeah, Drake is just acknowledging that. And I don't know, I don't want to speak for the guy, but I think that there's a lot of stuff in this album, and I feel like it's gonna have to, like, we'll have to listen to it multiple times, dissect the songs to really, you know, get to the premise of what Drake is going on about. But I like what I've heard so far, and I'm excited to get into the rest of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, what are some other things that you had been seeing online that were like kind of catching your attention?
I mean, just like verses in there, like obviously, like I love that Drake acknowledged like Palestine and acknowledged like, you know, the fact that DJ Khaled, who is a Palestinian man, has been, you know, fully deathly silent despite what's happened in Gaza. And I think that, you know, Drake, with the star power he has, with the voice he has, and with the people he can reach, acknowledging like real world issues is like so important. And I feel like, again, it's just kind of showing another level that Drake is now tapping into, like getting more deep in his like raps and his flows. And one of the songs I literally just listened to, he was saying like, you know, he doesn't want to keep talking about like the money and those sorts of things. Like he is tapping into a higher level, and I can really appreciate that. So it's just like, you can tell he really was like thought about these sorts of things. And yeah, I think that a lot of people, you know, if the shoe fits, you know, that's really all you could say for the people that he's said little things about in the album. But I think, again, it speaks volumes that him and Future are working together again, and it just shows that at the end of the day, he's gonna continue on making great music. And we know what the charts are about to look like in terms of what songs are being played right now. He's got 3 albums, which means Drake has probably fully taken over the top 100, the top whatever. And he doesn't have to bot farm. He doesn't have bot farms, you know, set up like other artists who lost a lot of streams last year. I know that video
that you showed me was funny.
Right? Yeah, what was going on in there? Yeah.
Well, because you had said, you said that he like burned a bot farm video.
Yeah, it was really funny.
And then what were you saying about?
Well, just like the imagery of that. Yeah, because there were a lot of like people in the industry who, when Spotify and Apple Music cut down on the bots that were streaming people's music, a lot of other people in the industry lost a lot of streams, and notoriously Drake did not. So I feel like it, again, just speaks volumes to who he is and the music he produces, 100%. And yeah, only real music's gonna last. And I think, you know, Drake said that 10 years ago, and a decade later he's still doing it. So yeah, we're gonna keep getting through this album, and we'll see how we want to do that.
Albums.
Yeah, all 3 albums. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do.
These are our early thoughts.
Yeah, so early thoughts so far, and yeah, we'll be back to give you a more like breakdown song, maybe some songs that are most notable. So far, I've got Make 'Em Pay, Burning Bridges, National Treasures as my top 3. I think we know, of course, What Did I Miss is a fantastic single that was dropped before the album. So obviously another great song. But those are the 3 I've starred so far. And yeah, whenever we come back, I'll be interested to see where we're at with our favorites.
Facts.
Yeah, so those are our thoughts on this OVO Friday. Drake has released 3 new albums. If you haven't already, go listen. Stop what you're doing, go listen. That's what we're about to do. We're about to dive back in and finish all 3 albums. So we'll see you at the end. And yeah.
If you made it this far,
Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
Next time.
Peace.